Prestige Assurance PLC hosts the Nigerian Council of Registered Insurance Brokers to the April edition of the Members' Evening. The Chief Executive Officer, Prestige Assurance PLC, Dr. Bala Swami, addresses members on the contemporary trends in the insurance industry and Prestige Assurance PLC's contribution. We have a report. Olashore International School unveils the school's strategy for education advancement in Nigeria as the Principal Chief Executive Officer of the school, D.K. Smith, presents the school's experience in development technology and more. And GT Bank Lagos Principal Cup Season 6 begins with a smash or barrier strategy and playing by the rules. Find out how the kids are smashing the barriers in this cover. This is Inside Business Africa, Africa's business news and information leader. Hello and thanks for joining us. My name is Kenneth Odushola Stevenson and this is Inside Business Africa, Africa's business news and information leader. Later on the program, we'll be talking about GT Bank Lagos State Principal Cups that kicked off in Lagos last week, and Inside Business has been covering the proceeding. We'll bring it to you on this program. But also on today's the program, like you may have heard on the highlighted, Prestige Assurance PLC is talking about contemporary trends in the insurance industry. We'll talk about all that when we come back right after this commercial break. Like your construction and engineering industry news and information, broad, complex and difficult to read, or sharp, ready to read and explore. Presenting Construction and Engineering Digest Magazine, CED, refreshing clarity in construction and engineering industry news and information. Construction and Engineering Digest Magazine, CED, incorporating oil and gas report with news and information that work for you. Because business news and information leader. For staying with us, Prestige Assurance PLC has put in over 60 years in the insurance industry in Nigeria, and recently that organization hosted the members of the Nigerian Institution of Insurance Brokers in Registered Insurance Brokers, and the president and chairman of council of that particular association, I'm talking about Mr. Ayodakpo Shuderu, also had the opportunity of talking about contemporary issues in the insurance industry, while the managing director, CEO of Prestige Assurance PLC, Dr. Sami, was able to talk about the contributions of Prestige Assurance PLC to the insurance industry in Nigeria. Here's a report. The April edition of the Nigeria Insurance Brokers Members Evening, hosted by Prestige Assurance PLC, saw the happy members listening with rapt attention with the presentation made by the President and Chairman of Council, Mr. Ayodakpo Shuderu, who spoke on the contemporary trends in the insurance industry in Nigeria, and Dr. Bala Swami, Managing Director, Chief Executive, Prestige Assurance PLC, who took members through the operational performance of the over 60-year-old insurance firm, Prestige Assurance PLC. According to Shuderu, the current trends and happenings in Nigeria polity must reflect on the performance of the insurance sector.
While felicitating with the President-elect, General Muhammadu Buhari, please permit me to commend the present President Goodluck Jonathan, for the spirit of sportsmanship exuded by congratulating the new President-elect and by so doing accepting the result of the elections. Without missing word, this action by Mr. President Jonathan, he has saved the country from avoidable national crisis and has made our polity a source of envy to other nations.
Speaking further, the NCRIB president called on members to be up and doing while embracing professionalism and integrity in their practice.
The insurance industry in Nigeria stands to play a catalytic role to national development if needed attention is given to it by the present administration. Aside from helping government to be prudential in spending through mitigation of losses on its assets, the industry can also help boost gross domestic product, GDP, as well as reduce the nightmarish unemployment rate in the country insurance industry. I therefore suggest that General Buhari's government should pay special attention to the insurance industry by eliminating all anti-insurance practices across the strata of government. Among others, government must include insurance premiums in budget at its agencies and encourage that all its insurances are insured against risk. May I also felicitate with elected governors and members of the National Assembly across the country. May I remind all elected governors that insurance is the best way to create an enduring wealth for the citizens as well as to protect the wealth of the nation. Payment of fees for prerequisite for bidding. I want to seize this opportunity to again ventilate the views of the Council. I'm also delighted to inform you that the 2015 Chief Executive Officers Retreat will be holding in Benin City, in Edo State. As usual, Executive Chairman, Chief Executive Officers, Managing Directors, and General Managers of insurance broking firms, under the aegis of our local council, are all expected to attend this impactful retreat, where germane issues about our profession will be extensively discussed, top-notch, to come together to advance purposes of fraternizing and sharpening our professional skills. The retreat has attained the reputation of taking the excitement and expectations of participants. It is billed to hold between Wednesday, 3rd and Friday, 5th June 2015. And will be featuring a pleasantly stimulating and exciting theme entitled Staying Afloat in Trying Times, with seasoned guest speakers in the
Dr. Balaswamy, Managing Director, Chief Executive, Prestige Assurance PLC, while presenting the performance and underwriting offerings of the over 60-year-old Prestige Assurance PLC, spoke on the growth patterns of Prestige Assurance and its contribution to the insurance sector in Nigeria and globally.
I have worked in various fields. That is, I was a specialist officer went for doing rural insurance in New India Insurance Company. When New India was nationalized in 1980s, they have recruited a big stream of people who are veterinary graduates to do rural insurance in India. Whenever the banks are financing, all the animals, all the crops, all the assets are to be insured. That is through the scientific lines these veterinary doctors used to do. So during the course of my work, I became a divisional manager. I went to Philippines to head our branch office in Philippines. Then I was in reinsurance department of corporate office of New India Insurance Company. I was the chief manager. I was then transferred to health department. I was handling health department of New India Insurance.
No doubt, the contributions of insurance brokers to the development of market-driven strategies that ensure growth in the insurance sector is appreciated by insurance companies, as demonstrated by Prestige Assurance PLC. The president of NCRRB, Ayoda Poshodero, and Dr. Swamy, MD, Prestige Assurance PLC, spoke further on the synergy between the brokers and the underwriters.
Well, they've been able to convince everybody that they are broker friendly, and as I said, including myself, because I used to think that they were only concerned with captive accounts. I did the Indian company, but I could see that they have been relating with some brokers, maybe over the years, because when I got back to Nigeria in 1975, New India was the one in vogue, and they never used to deal with brokers at all. But maybe over the years they've changed their tune, and they now are dealing with insurance brokers. I hope they will capitalize on this event and be able to grow their relationship with insurance brokers.
Insurance industry in Nigeria is growing industry now, and I think health is to be introduced in a big way. It will help many Nigerians to take the treatment without much difficulty, because they can share small premiums. At the event of risk, an insurance company can take care of them. This is to be educated, and it has to be done through the governmental agencies and through insurance brokers, through advertisement and other things.
We're proud to be associated with the success being recorded by Prestige Assurance PLC in Nigeria, making it over 60 years of contributing to the nation's insurance industry. Talking about contribution, Olashore International School's contribution to the education and advancement in Nigeria was also unveiled in Lagos recently at a press briefing by the principal and chief executive of the school, D.K. Smith, where he talked about technological advancement and educational development in Nigeria. At a press briefing in Lagos, Inside Business was there. Here's what we brought to you. In its quest to be one of the most technologically advanced schools in Africa and prepare its students for the new competitive knowledge economy, Olashore International School is integrating technology fully into its curriculum in a renewed and unique blend of technology and education. In one of the biggest ever technology rollout in the school system in Nigeria, Olashore is entering into a strategic partnership with Apple through Core Group Africa, the authorized exclusive distributor for Apple in Nigeria and Sub-Saharan Africa. When this plan is fully implemented, the students and the teachers will be solving complex problems and discovering latest research information simultaneously with the teachers in real time. This will be powered by the Apple iPad and a fully educational technology backup from Core Group Africa, the home of everything Apple in Nigeria. This new and unique technology enhanced announced recently at an executive briefing session in Lagos under the theme Blending Technology and Education for World-Class Learning. Speaking at the unveiling of this initiative, Prince Bimbo Olashore, the Chairman, Board of Governors of Olashore International School, stated that Nigeria can no longer wait and be playing catch-up with technology or keep waiting for technology transfer.
We still have one of the best results in the country, both at WAEC level and also sit for the foreign IGCSE exams. But one thing that we have seen now is that it's not just about academic excellence now. The issue that we are seeing in education now is how do we now ensure that our kids really can compete with the best in the world. The advent of internet has really redefined a lot of things. Information is now at everybody's fingertips. By the time Derek does his presentation, you'll see what I mean by information as well as truly democratized. Everybody knows everything. So the issue now, education now is not just about teaching and just saying, I stand in front of class and the way we learn at times 1 times 1 times 2, the times table and all this. What is the capital of Cross River? What's the capital? You know those things. Tell us the governors of these states. I think and if a child is able to repeat all those things, we give him an A star. The world has gone far beyond that. It's all about thinking. It's all about creativity, and that is what technology is bringing straight to us. What is allowing us to do is to make sure that our kids are on par with anybody on a global basis. So the information that's available to them, we too can also bring it here.
The new comprehensive technology in classroom program is expected to be achieved by setting up LAN network distribution in classrooms and hostels, proper wireless distribution in the classroom, one per class, indoor wireless device with high frequency firewalls to manage internet access on the iPad, proper audio and visual multimedia systems in the classrooms that will support the iPad integration, learning management system that will not use the internet, and a MAC server for mobile device management that will be used to manage the iPad. At the launch program, the school principal, Mr. Derek Smith, stated that Olashore International School will also review its overall technology framework through a curriculum mapping program, faster internet connection, a new mobile device management to check on productive online presence. It will also make professional development for teachers mandatory, constant and purposeful, and finally reinforce students' responsibility in taking charge of their lives.
Mobile device management that allows us to completely control what every child does with their iPad. Apple have been working in education a long time. Apple actually moved into education slightly after I got my first computer in about 1984. And since then, they have been developing their products such that when their products come out, you can use them in education. The iPad, Steve Jobs talked a lot about the iPad and education. One of the strong reasons that Apple developed the iPad, to the point that even with your own iPad, if you have iPads, you can check it. Most of us never go there, but if you have children, check the restrictions tab. Even just using the iPad, you can control very closely what any child does on their own iPad, just using the restrictions. Now, when you get to a level of school, and you actually register all the iPads on the mobile device management, we can control what apps they put on their iPad, what they're allowed to access with the apps, when they're allowed to use things. If they misbehave, you can see it, you can track it. We spend time in a school, we spent about 3 or 4 hours in a school in the UK, a government school in the centre of Bradford. Now, I don't know if you know the centre of Bradford.
In addition, all the learnings will be adopted in the new technology and education initiative of Olashore School. Mr. Derek Smith has restated the commitment of Olashore International School to remain the pride of Africa in secondary school education.
I think the key thing is to keep moving forward with technology. The opportunity, I think technology is a great opportunity for countries maybe that are less developed to actually leap forward and take that move forward in terms of education. I think Nigeria has made a big step in terms of, the chairman already mentioned some of the projects that are going on nationally, and then looking also at the projects that we're doing at Olashore International School to make sure that we continue to develop technology and give all the young people in Nigeria the skills necessary to go and compete globally. Our focus is constantly on developing our children to be leaders in the dynamic global society in the 21st century. I think we're constantly aware. We have a wide range of activities going on. Today we've been talking about our information technology rollout, where we're planning to roll out one-to-one iPads across the school for all children, giving children the access to all the information that's available through the internet and all the skills that are necessary to make use of that information and be successful. But alongside that, we also make sure that our children are exposed to international experiences. So, for example, over the last few weeks, we've had children visiting France, in Paris and Normandy, with educational tours and learning more about those areas. Again, we had children last week in the Benin Republic, visiting there, learning so much about the history and the culture in that area, visiting primary schools in the area, working with children in that area, so that they learn how the world is and really how that they can interact on a world stage. The key is not how much you spend on any one thing, but it's actually about making sure that for every £1 you spend, that you get value for your £1. So that's the key, and that's what we ask our parents and everybody to judge us by, is if they think that they are getting value for the education, for the cost, then it's important. And I think in anything that you do, as a school, we do that. In everything that we do, we don't spend money rashly. And I don't think anybody should spend money rashly. I think the important thing is to judge everything and make sure that whatever you're getting value for money. And that's the key question. I think what makes Olashore stand out is our focus on leadership. And this is something that has stood out for 20 years. It's one of the things that is inbuilt in everything that we do. Over 20 years, we have developed leadership, we have our programs within the school, but one of the things that's particularly unique is that since this year we've actually we brought from the US a leadership and social responsibility coordinator to really formulate and really give a strong structure to our leadership programs, really based on the social responsibility model. And the most exciting thing about that program is that, and I think what you'll find is unique, not just in Nigeria, but perhaps anywhere, is that we've structured the program so that longer term it is led by the students, so that the students actually take responsibility, for the older students take responsibility for teaching and educating the younger students on what it takes to be leaders and what it takes to be Olashore graduates as they go on and out into the world.
The chairman, Board of Governors, Prince Bimbo Olashore, stated that Olashore International School is a leading academic institution where leaders are made by providing the students with life skills, leadership training, arts, sports, and global exposure while preserving our core Nigerian culture and societal values. Established in 1994 on 60 acres of land, Olashore International School is a co-educational school which offers high-caliber education in a wide range of subjects at junior secondary, senior secondary, and university foundation program in partnership with Leicester University. Over the past 20 years, the school has succeeded in creating a community of world-class services around the school, including a first-class hotel, a golf course, a leadership training center that all combine to give the school a unique identity. The school is particularly appealing to discerning Nigerians at home and abroad, as well as expatriates residing in Nigeria who desire a school with a strong value system, demonstrable track record, and clear sense of purpose. Talking about education and technological advancement, GT Bank and its Principal Cup in Lagos Season 6 started for quite some time, but the semi-final is currently being done in Lagos, and Inside Business was at the event where some kids put up some spectacular performance talking about breaking new barriers and playing by the rules. Inside Business presents this important event. Prestigious GT Bank Principal Cup, the annual football competition targeted at secondary school students, entered the Season 6 with the Smash All Barrier as its slogan, while urging the student to play by the rule. The semi-final of the competition, which held in Lagos on Wednesday, April 29 and Thursday, April 30th at Onikon Stadium, saw Barrett Avenue Senior High School, a debutant, competing with other notable schools including Ikorodu Senior Grammar School, Ifako Comprehensive High School, and Keke High School, among others. In the female category, Oriwu Senior Model College defeated CMS Senior Girls Secondary School, Bariga 4-3 in a dramatic penalty shootout after both sides played a goalless draw at the full time in a highly entertaining game. CMS Petit striker Edempo, who was a thorn in the flesh of Oriwu defense throughout the encounter, who was unsurprisingly voted the most valuable player. Also, in the second semi-final played on Thursday, Ikotun High School zoomed into the final after beating Government Senior College Agege 3-1. Ikotun girls, captained by Saliu Anu, were on the offensive in the early minutes of the first half when Amsalem Chimenemu scored the first goal. Attempt by Government Senior College Agege to level score only ended up exposing their rear, allowing captain of the Ikotun team Amu to score or increase the tally with a clear finish just before the break. On resumption, the girls from Agege pulled one back, raising hope for possible equalizer, but Chimeneme put the match beyond them with her second goal of the match to put the score at 3-1. Captain of the victorious team, Anu was declared most valuable player of the match. The school will lock horn with Oriwu Senior Model College, Ikorodu, in the final. The GT Bank PLC Principals Cup competition is one of the bank's major corporate social responsibility strategy, which has been clearly defined the bank's position in giving back to the community. Well, that's about all we have time for on Inside Business Africa, but we want to congratulate those children that are actually putting a lot of spectacular performance at the GT Bank Lagos Principal Cup, and we're hoping we'll be able to bring you the final of that particular competition. Talking about competition, engineering and economic prosperity will be the focus of the lecture being put together by CED Forum and also Construction and Engineering Digest magazine, where the CED magazine Professional of the Year personality will be unveiled, talking about Engineer Yusuf Larewaju Shagaya, who is the Chairman Chief Executive of Yola Consultant. That event holds on June 18th in Lagos, and we'll give you all the details in subsequent edition of Inside Business Africa. It's been Kenneth Odushola Stevenson presenting Inside Business Africa. Thank you again for watching. See you next week.